I don't think that any of them really thought it through. Honestly, I think they're just kids.
Sos, let me throw to Tate went on with you guys, I think the day after, so take a look.
But if I'm totally honest with you, I don't think that any of them are deeply anti-Semitic genuinely, and I don't think that any of them really thought it through. Honestly, I think they're just kids. I think they're just kids. It gets a reaction. They think they're funny. They're on the internet. They need a reaction. They want likes, and they did some dumb shit. That's what I think it is. I think they're just literally retarded.
They're not all kids. We know Myron's almost 40.
Yeah.
You're almost 40.
Yep.
Tristan's 35.
Yep.
This ain't kid stuff. I think when you sort of diffuse the situation, they're kids being kids. Myron, who, you know how much time we've spent with Myron.
Yep.
That ain't no kid stuff. The reason you went is because Nick Fuentes, virgin, never been to a club, a virgin and a literal club virgin. You wanted to see him be basically like dance monkey in the club, so to speak. And I actually understand that. But when you show up to a club with the Nazi Avengers, Nick Fuentes, Myron Gaines, Sneeko, you're going to get looped into this, and whose head's going to roll first? Well, not some Clav kid nobody's heard of. Andrew Tate. You're the leader.
So, Sos, first off, you did a bang-up job there because everyone knows it's not that fun to confront this nonsense right there when they're on your show and, you know, all that stuff. But I thought it was interesting because he kept saying they, implying that he has nothing to do with this. When he tweets out all this Jew stuff or the Nazi stuff or whatever, that it's not him that's doing it. It's they're retarded. And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. Well, there's so much to unpack here. Andrew Tate is a man. Tristan is a man. Their best friend, Justin Waller, who I'm very good friends with, is a man, a gentleman. Myron's a man. He may be an anti-Semitic man, but he's a man. Sneeko at this point is sort of like a Disney kid who's been around the internet for 10 years. He's been around the block that he should know what's going on. But the reality is, Nick Fuentes is a kid.
Wait, it's Sneeko? I thought it was Sneaker. He's Sneeko?
Either one.
Okay.
Sneeko, yeah.
That changes things.
Nick Fuentes is a kid, 25 years old, typically hanging out by himself on the internet. And then there's another kid who, I don't even know, Clavic something, who's a 20-year-old kid. I don't know how a 20-year-old kid's supposed to get in the club 21 plus. But that kid's very interesting.
He's also telling everyone to do meth so that they can get hollowed out.
That's very interesting. I was very critical of people like Kylie Jenner. You know my whole history with the Kardashians. My best friend was the guy, Chris Humphries, that married Kim Kardashian. I've been around this world, and I met the younger Kardashians when they were teenagers, and I saw her, sort of go down the influencer rabbit hole. The Kylie girl, she's a billionaire now. The lip fillers, the Botox, the boob jobs, the fake stuff. When you're a 20-year-old girl, what I didn't realize, now dudes are doing that. So now dudes are putting in Botox and lip fillers and basically getting fake titties. What are dudes doing?
What if a medicine used by millions during the pandemic is now mostly made in China? Well, it's true. About 80% of the world's ivermectin supply comes from Asia, but not at the wellness company. Introducing American-made ivermectin, safe, tested, trusted, and produced locally here in Florida. Ivermectin has been prescribed worldwide for over 30 years and even earned a Nobel Prize in medicine for its effectiveness against parasites. Most pharmacies charge $5 per tablet for 12 milligrams or less. The wellness company offers a higher 18 milligram dose for just $3.50 a tablet. That's a 6-month supply, 84 tablets, at an unbeatable price. Support American medicine and American doctors, not China's supply chain. Order your U.S.-made ivermectin today at twc.health/Rubin and use code Rubin to get $44 off plus free shipping.
So that's what's happening with this internet culture. So the reality is this. Speaking of men, can I just unpack what I think is going on here?
Sure.
Tate is a leader. And, kids are going to follow leaders. Brandon Tatum said that probably the most important thing, which is the biggest thing for me, is who's leading young men. I look at Brandon Tatum as a leader amongst men. I look at PBD as a leader amongst men. That's the same way I look at Tate. And he can go one way or another with this. The challenge is this. My North Star, and I think both of you agree with this, is what would Charlie Kirk feel about this? Because Charlie's not here anymore, and who's carrying on his legacy and defending what he feels? And to me, Charlie's a man and Nick is a kid. And Charlie is someone that goes outside and debates people while Nick stays inside and masturbates looking at whatever images of people. So to me, it's completely different. Now we talk about the average man. Tate talked about, well, the average man can't get a girl anymore. The average man can't buy a home anymore. The average man. I said, why should average allow you to do anything amazing? And in my opinion, it's not actually Nick's fault. I mean, he's a generation of kids that grow up on the internet. And my North Star, other than Charlie Kirk, is one question. Have you ever been punched in the face? Because there's a big difference between socializing and social media. And there's a whole generation of kids who've never been punched in the face. And if there's no ramifications of you saying the N-word, and if there's no ramifications of you being Jew hater, what do you think's going to happen?